Water. Nwanne nke ikpeazụ a bụ water. Nnukwu ya ọzọ water. Nwanne ife a na-abịazi bụ water na omesi water promas. The code bụ the promas. Akwa ị na-aghọta maka ụmụ ndị na-amabeghị na ọ na-eme mana ọ na-emesi. Akwa ị na-ada n'ife ị na-afụ ụzọ ka ị na-ada n'ife akwa ị na-afụ ụzọ. Odogwu Commander no omesi abịawaga azụ. What a deep secret revealed by our Biafran PM in exile, the Biafran spokesperson. Gee ntị ọfụma ka ị n'ife o nwere ike ikwu. Gee ntị ka ị n'ife okwu. Hey! Every Biafran must listen to this. In fact, ọ bụ na ị bụ onye Biafra, if you are lovers of freedom fighters, watch this audio from the beginning to the end. Odogwu Commander no omesi. What a big strategy. What a big eyes open secret. I should call it eyes open secret because it's a powerful secret revealed by our Biafran PM. Alright, let's go straight to the clip of what we have. Over to you, sir.
They continue to go to London as the renewal of the amalgamation. I am telling you, the renewal of the slavery, the renewal of colonization. Somebody will fly from Nigeria to Chatham House to go and explain how he is going to rule Nigeria. And you don't see anything wrong with that. Exactly what this man did. He went to London. They did not gather Yorubas, they did not gather Igbos, they did not gather Fulani together and ask questions. Do you people want to be together? That did not happen. And I want to tell you today that what you hear me reading now and what you see me reading now, that was how Nigeria was formed. So how can you name? How can you think that a country like that, it does not matter how much you patch it, will survive? It can never survive. It was a single person decision. I want to read it again because that's why we're here. Pay attention to how Nigeria was formed and amalgamated to what you see today. Decision to amalgamate. Toward the close of 1911, Mr. now Viscount Harcourt, Secretary of the State for the Colonies, invited me to undertake the task. I was at the time Governor of Hong Kong, having previously been High Commissioner of Northern Nigeria. He was High Commissioner of Northern Nigeria. I want people to understand that the High Commissioner, the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, they all have the same character. Just exactly the way Catherine Lang did in Nigeria is exactly what this man is replicating. Catherine Lang actually was replicating exactly what this man did as High Commissioner to Northern Nigeria. From its inauguration in 1900, I was therefore intimately acquainted with the method of administration there, for the creation of which I had indeed been responsible. This man was not only responsible for the amalgamation of Nigeria, he was also responsible for creating administration in the northern Nigeria that never worked. That administration that they were paying, still paid and paying everything to them, it is this same man that created it. It never worked. Now, he continued. Reaching England, he went to England in 1912. After 12 years of northern Nigeria failure. I want us to go back, please. This is page 8. Now, let us go back to where they say that they paid the northern Nigeria 11 years. They supported them with grant for 11 years. So what happened actually is that northern Nigeria was created in 1900, and from 1900 to 1912, they were unproductive and they were receiving grant. Let us go back. This is page 8. Let us go back and let me show you, because our own is they do it, they show. Let me show you where the northern Nigeria spent here. Here. They said in page 7, I think, yes, page 7, here. This is the place. In page 7. In a long memorandum dated May 1905, while still High Commissioner of Northern Nigeria, the same man, while he was still the High Commissioner in Northern Nigeria, I advocated amalgamation, a policy supported by the then High Commissioner of Southern Nigeria, another British. I want you people to understand that this man called Harcourt, advocated for amalgamation of Nigeria as a High Commissioner to Northern Nigeria, and another High Commissioner to Southern Nigeria supported it. British. It was not Yoruba, he was not Igbo, he was not Hausa. Two of them from United Kingdom, they supported each other to amalgamate Nigeria against the collective interest of every other person in Nigeria. Now, let's advocated amalgamation, a policy supported by the High Commissioner of Southern Nigeria, not Alafin, not Oni of Ife, not Igwe of Onitsha, not Igwe of Obosi. All these people are United Kingdom. And the then governor of Lagos, still from the United Kingdom. And there was increasing evidence that it could no longer be postponed. Now, this is not even what I'm looking for. I'm looking for where they said they paid them for almost 11 years. Here. The North largely dependent on the annual grant from the imperial government, was barely able to balance its budget with the most pernicious economy, and was starved of the necessary staff and unable to find funds to house its officers properly. Its energies were concentrated upon the development of the native administration and the revenue resulting from direct taxation. Its distance from the coast, 250 miles, rendered the expansion of the trade difficult. Two, the anomaly was presented of a country with an aggregate revenue practically equal to its need, but divided into two by an arbitrary line of latitude. One portion was dependent on a grant paid by the British taxpayer, which in the year before amalgamation stood at £136,000 and had averaged £314,500 for the 11 years ending March. This is it. For the 11 years. So this 11 years, you heard me read yesterday. This is where it comes from. Let us go back to page 8. Here. Do you understand? I was therefore intimately acquainted with the method of administration, therefore, for the creation of which I had indeed been responsible. He was responsible for creating Northern Nigeria. Reaching England in April, he left to England in April after 11 years of robbing Peter to pay Paul in Northern Nigeria, which is still continued today. I was appointed governor of the two separate administrations simultaneously, and after spending several weeks in England to acquaint myself with the current view on some important matters, I proceeded to Africa in September 1912. After he has done all the mugu and the garagara and the magomago in London, he proceeded to Africa in 1912. I returned in the following March and submitted my proposal for amalgamation in May. He came to Africa in March, and by May, he submitted the proposal for amalgamation. Against the will of everybody, without consulting anybody. Today, they want us to continue to live in 1904, in 1912. They still want the document that was presented and binded the people that were never won to continue to prevail after over 100 years. I returned in the following March and submitted my proposal for amalgamation in May. They were accepted in September. When I returned to Nigeria, and on January 1st, 1914, the new government of Nigeria, as set up by fresh letters patent and other instrument, was proclaimed. Are you hearing it? So what I am trying to tell you today is that, you see, if you continue to support this, it means that God will never forgive you. This is the highest slavery. They claim that they have abolished slave trade. They claim that slavery has been abolished, but it has not been abolished, for the fact that we continue to stay on the document of 1912 submitted by a man called Harcourt. It means that you are still being binded by this slave document. So, in our quest to exit Nigeria, to the international community, and to those who care to listen to us, this is where our argument starts from. You can never dissolve Nigeria without letting the people, international community, who claim not to know, to understand that the coming together of every ethnic group in Nigeria was as a result of a decision between British and British. And that is not fair. It can never be fair. If it was fair back then, because of the arms they have, because of the power and killings they are doing, it is no longer fair. In this century we are. We are now in civilization, my people. We are now in a world where human rights prevail. We are now in a civilized society where there is respect. Even if you don't want to acknowledge it, at least I am living in a country that respects human rights. So I'm going to use this right to fight for my people. And that's exactly what I'm doing. How can you have agreement of 1914 and you are still using that agreement to bind the people together when they are not one? And subject them to killings, and genocide is being committed every day. And because of killings and intimidation and terrorism, everybody is afraid. Nobody wants to talk. That is why the Biafra Republic government in exile have taken it upon itself to do this work for Biafra people. And let me tell you, you don't know what we are doing in the secret. I have read some people saying, oh, Simon Ekpa, don't bring, if you write letter next time, don't bring it public. No, no, no. The letter you see in the public is meant for public. The letter you see, if we write letter to UN, it is public. If we write letter to the European Union, it's public. If we write letter to America, United States Congress, it's public. If I write letter to Joe Biden, it's public. And I'm going to write Joe Biden very soon. It's public. But those ones, there are those ones that are not public. So those ones we want to be public to generate the momentum and propagate Biafra, will make it public. So if you see me posting anything that we are writing, the government is writing, don't get distracted. Don't say, oh, Simon Ekpa, don't post, because anything we post in the public is meant for public. We know what we are doing. Because there are many letters that nobody knows anything about, and it is going on, and a lot is happening on the ground. So anytime we post public, know that there is a target we are looking for. We are targeting something. We have piloted this particular struggle for a while. So you should trust our judgment. I'm telling you, because the fight is not just fight about gun and bullet. It is also brain fight. So trust our judgment. Anytime you see me post anything in public domain, I know what I'm doing. You see, I posted the house of a Biafra government in exile. He generated the one he generated. Now, they are helping us to advertise it. It is good. Because the house alone has generated a lot of, a lot of insult, a lot of negative reaction, a lot of everything. But that is part of the movement. you need to be very calculative. You need to use brain. So when you see these things going on, allow your enemy to advertise you. And let me tell you, anything I have not finalized cannot come public. I will always come public when I'm sure that I have finalized it. So they have been advertising this Biafra government house in exile. They have advertised the office. They have advertised the premises. Allow them. Allow them. That is exactly the way it should be. Let them attack us. Let them blackmail us. At the end of the day, Biafra flag will rise in that house. That is what is going. And by the time it rises in that house, our prestige, integrity goes higher. Because at the end of the day, it is those who smiles last that their own are better. It is not those who make noise. It is not somebody that go to police always win case. Okay? So, we know what we are doing. Everything about this struggle is spiritual. Forget people. We are master in this game. And God is the one that is giving us the wisdom to do what we are doing. So when I come out and say something, know that it has been finalized. I am telling you the fact. And God will always use it to shame the enemy. You know that everything we have done in this life, especially for the past 2 years, has always turned to our favor. Even if I make mistake, the mistake will turn out. That is how to know when God is with you. I am telling you. That is how to know when God is with you. If you make mistake, it will turn to your favor. If you do it right, it will everything. Are you not seeing it? Now, we are, before we did not want to post the address of the government office, government Biafra office in exile. We didn't want to post it. But at the point, I decided to post the picture of the house, and then I put some kind of art, putting the seal, the coat of arm, how we can design it or something like that. I post it on Twitter. And then some of them say, hey, it's a Photoshop, it's a Photoshop. I removed the coat of arm. I told them that I put that coat of arm on purpose. I removed the coat of arm, the first one, I removed the second one, I left the flag on purpose. I post the house again. I say, you people that say it's a Photoshop, that the house does not exist. Here is the original picture. I have removed the coat of arm. I removed it, but the flag was there, covering what I wanted to cover. Now, they continue to claim it's a fake, is a Photoshop. They went there, and there was nothing. There is no Biafra flag there. There is no office there, because they saw the place is still under renovation. And everybody was shouting, oh, it's a scam, it's a scam. Leave them. They are advertising the place, because by the time they will return there next week, they will never make video again. I am telling you. Tell them to return there next week. They will never make video. I am serious. At least one is that the place exists. Two is that they see the house, the exact house that I posted. And some of them was even saying, where did he get the thing from Google? He Googled it, Google Map. I don't know, somebody will just, sometimes, honestly, I don't understand. Somebody will just wake up and Google a house. And somebody like me, in this Biafra struggle, we Google a house and post it and claim that this house is where Biafra government, a whole Biafra government in exile. I will post a fake house, that this house is the office. And it is quite ridiculous, because that is to show you the caliber of people that have actually fought for this Biafra. They were all fake miscreant. That's what they used to call them. They call them miscreant until we step in. Do you hear them calling miscreant again? Because we have, the miscreants are out. But anyway, so this man went to London and came back, and they begin to talk about amalgamation of Nigeria. So some of you who will be, who have been doing this thing for many years, you don't know, some of you are just like, you don't research, you don't have any document, you don't have any proof to know how to fight your freedom. You don't know. Because it is hearsay. You depend on hearsay. You are not sure of it. You are not sure of the hearsay. They tell you, oh, yes, Lord Lugard. You know, everybody is talking Lord Lugard. You know, Lord Lugard do this, Lord Lugard do that. Yes, Lord Lugard is the big problem. But it is not. It was not Lord Lugard that brought the idea of amalgamation. It was a man called Harcourt. Probably there you see that Port Harcourt today. Probably it was named after this man. He was the one who went to London and thought about amalgamating Nigeria. He drafted the proposal himself. And what we are going to unveil as time goes on is to go through the proposal and see whether there is 100 years, whether it was 100 years or not. But to see where it says that after 100 years, everybody has to go. Even if it is not, if it didn't say such, it is also very wrong for you to use the 1914 document to subjugate and enslave people of where I come from, my tribe. After I have struggled to study in English, went to their school, graduate, and become something professional. And I read law, I read international law, and are coming to tell me that I should just sit down and allow nomadic people to continue to kill my people. It is not possible. Those that fought for the freedom of their people are not even as smart as some of us. Now we are combining everything, technology, everything combining together to fight the zoo. And the zoo is falling. And you can see that we have destroyed them. I am telling you, the activities of the autopiloted IPOB for the past 6 months have destroyed Nigeria. We have destroyed Nigeria beyond repair, and they can never recover until we exit. This political thing you see here today, political tension, it is from us. We did it, and we will do more. We have put them into confusion. The election of this year was the worst ever in the history of Nigeria. Who did it? It is our activities. The Biafra exit disorganize them, and they begin to do mistakes. The INEC begin to do mistake. The other opposition begin to do mistake. The ruling party they were too desperate because the threat that the Biafra exit posed on them. They begin to call the ambassador. How many times have you ever heard where the Nigerian government is summoning any country publicly crying? No, I'm asking you, because the people that surrounded Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are all criminals. And some of them is when he wants to make the decision we are making today, they draw him back. They say, no, you don't do it. And today, they sold him. Since the time of this struggle for Biafra, from Wazirike to now, have you seen where Nigeria government is crying and crying to embassy? Hold him, hold him. Have you seen it? You cannot see it. No, if there's any way it has happened before, tell me, because we know where we are touching them. All of you watch them cry. Simon Ekpa, hold him. They were all crying, calling Finland, hold him, arrest him, this, that. And I am just here. Okay? Because we have hold them where they can never survive. It has never happened before. With all these things they were doing, Nigeria was, they want to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They went to his house, they killed many people, and God saved him. I want you people to tell me, have Nigeria ever cried to any nation in the world that come, this one is doing this and doing that? No, because we know what we stick to what we were doing. We made sure we stay resolute. We made sure we follow that step of Onyendu. Because I'm ever get and we hold them there. We are still holding them all. I want to tell you today that you don't know what we have done to Nigeria. If they continue to say they want to put Tinubu as a president is a problem. If they decide to change it and put P2B, is a problem. That is where we are now. So at the end of the day, when this disintegration will take, people don't know what we have done. Some people are expecting me to come and start doing, they are declared Biafra after 50 days. Do you know what we are doing? You are not part of us. Did you know how the 150 days come about? You don't know. Your own, you are just following. If you are a good follower who want to get Biafra with what we are doing, you listen and follow directive. Follow what we are doing. Did I discuss with you before announcing 150 days? Did I discuss with you? Do you know why I announced 150 days countdown? You don't know. You don't know. Have I ever discussed with you that this is what we're going to do when we're after the 150 days countdown? You don't know. But during that 150 days, a lot was going on. And it led to Nigeria to cry. And cry very well. And they continue to cry. So we have succeeded in making sure that the plan of that 150 days have been achieved, completely achieved. I will not mention them, okay? But from their body language, of course, you don't know is they don't know. It's not everything I will tell you, but they know what.
All right. Thank you once again for your time. I hope you really enjoyed the powerful session with our Biafran PM Mazi Simon Ekpa. All right, Canada Nife, when our phones or the Woto Pro Mars is the code. When the password water. All right. Also, we thank you for your time and for your commitment, and also for your steadfast to liberate the people of Biafra. Anyị na-asị ka Chukwuka abịa ma gbaa gị ume. In all, we must enter Biafra land, and our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released. Ise. One way also stay tuned at Eastern News 24, where we give to you the latest news update on what is happening in Biafra land. Bye.